Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing today, guys? Hope you're all having a good day today. It's Tuesday. I almost said it's Monday. No, let's not have it be Monday. It's Tuesday, dang it. So, with that having been said, we have the return of the Smarter Than AI talk show, podcast, streamcast, whatever you want to call it. But I'm here, Granix, as always. My good friend Alex Cool Von Rad. We're here. We're going to be talking about all sorts of gaming news and other shenanigans and things, opinion pieces, beer, because yes, we have beer in celebration of Alex being back online. He had some computer issues with that latest, I believe it was Tropical Storm Elsa. He was kind of knocked out there for a moment, but he's back, and I figure what better way to celebrate him being back than having a beer with him on stream during the talk show. Welcome, Savage. How you doing? Hope things are going well. So I'm ready. I don't know if he's ready, but I'm going to unmute, or undeafen, I should say, and join him. So let's see how things go.
I wish there was just a setting where I could just tell my PC, hey, if something gets plugged in, you don't have to do alert me thing. Just fucking autocorrect it. All right, fuck Jesus.
Oh, right. Gotta love that.
Let's get rich in this bitch. Hello.
Hey, having technical difficulties there?
No, I'm just bitching about the like stupid little things. Like fucking, I hate it when your PC, when you plug something in, your PC has to go. Oh, something was plugged in. Did someone come in and plug something in that you didn't know about? Let me alert you. It's like, dude, just do it automatically, bruv. Like, why is this such a goddamn thing every single time?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Thanks. Oh, drop my tab right in my beer. I am really nailing it today, aren't I? Welcome back, Alex. so good to be here. Glad to have you guys around. All right, so if I choke to death on this, that would be a funny way to come back.
Please don't.
No, it didn't even come out either. I was really hoping that like I could do that. You ever see like a person, I can do it too, but where they're like ladies, traditionally, like bar scum ladies that would touch me, have that trick where they like put a cherry in their mouth and they could tie
up the stem. Yeah.
That was kind of what I was hoping for there. That did not happen.
Yeah. Oh well.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Although mine is much more gross. So
yeah, that kind of would be. Well, hey, the world takes all kinds. Let's just go with that.
That's right. That's right. And the world is more unique for having each unique person in it.
Yes, yes, it is.
So, how are you? How was your day?
Doing good. It was not as bad as last week. Let me start there.
Okay. What happened last week?
Last week on the way home from work, because Tuesday and Thursday I actually go into the office.
Okay.
So on the way home from work, actually no, it started at lunchtime. Basically went to Taco Bell to get lunch, and on getting back to my office and parking my car, noticed that there was a bolt or screw or something like that in the tire, like puncturing the tire, but air was not leaking out. So it had a seal on it. So it's like, okay, fine, not a big problem.
I already know where this is going.
Yeah. On the way home, guess what? Shock and amaze, the bolt came out. And yeah, and the air in the tire, boom, gone, like instantly. So the hole was that big that it lasted, like as soon as the bolt came out, the light came on, and it's just like flat tire.
Wow.
Pull off, and they put those lug nuts on with a pneumatic wrench. Let's just start there. So they're on damn fucking tight. Yeah. In trying to get that off by hand, like the last time I wrench on the wrench, but the last time I try and shove the wrench to get it to loosen, I'm like, Urgh! You remember how my front two teeth are fake, right?
Yeah. No way.
I chipped one of them.
Come on.
Yep. So not only did I have a flat tire, I chipped one of my fucking teeth. The good news is Thursday, I had a dentist appointment already on the books. So it's like, okay, I'd rather have it then than like Monday have the dentist appointment and this is the day after kind of a thing.
Right. And then be on stream for a week whistling every time you want to talk.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Battle! You're spitting a lot when you say that.
exactly. So today, went to go get food, came back, nothing wrong with the car.
Good.
So at least no problems there.
Good.
Take like 3 bites, crunch.
Crunch what? The tooth broke again?
Yeah,
The cap?
same tooth.
Ugh. So the cap came off.
No, because basically the front, the way my teeth are broken in the front there, go from the bottom outside 2 corners and draw it like an upside down V to the midpoint up at the gums. The
Okay.
inside part of that is
Yeah.
what's fake. It's like a fake enamel kind of a thing.
Yeah. Cap.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So that broke off today. Like my 3rd bite of my lunch. I'm like,
You mean your
fuck.
third by your month?
You suck. Yet I love you.
That's really funny. I'm sorry that happened to you, dude. I'm sorry that happened to you.
At least it wasn't another flat tire, though.
That is true. I mean, always
Yeah.
look on the fucking bright side, right?
Yeah, because being on the side of a very popular highway that runs in between Raleigh and Durham, changing a flat tire that's on the driver's side, so it was on the highway side when I was pulled off on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Bad
So
luck.
yeah, it's like,
And I don't know what it is about truck drivers, because I've had that happen to me a couple times. Truck drivers don't give a fuck. They won't, like, most normal pedestrian cars will, like, try, if they can, to, like, you know, move over a little bit to give you a little extra wiggle room. Fucking truck drivers, I swear they have, like, something personal against cars. And they're, so every time it happens, it's like, what? And I get that anime hair and that hot gust of wind. It's like, ugh.
see, I don't get the anime hair. I get the anime beard.
It's definitely a unique look.
But the funny thing is, though, when I was changing the tire last week, it wasn't the cars that were pulling, like, inching over a little bit. It was the trucks. The cars, the people in the cars, they couldn't give a shit. They were like, fuck it, I gotta get home, man. I gotta make dinner and all that shit. It's like, the truckers were like, moving over, okay.
Isn't the South supposed to be like? Because I've noticed this. Like, yes, there are definitely, and to be fair, Florida's not really the South. It's like this weird, like, melting pot of like a bunch of people who just move here.
Yeah.
But I thought the whole thing of the South was motherfuckers are supposed to be polite down here. That is not so much the case that I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
around,
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially drivers down here. But I digress.
They can
Okay.
rip through a car like cheese? Yeah, trucks can rip through a car like cheese.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, their tires can explode and fuck up your car.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I've been next to a semi. You remember growing up how my parents and we would take those like month-long summer trips out west,
yeah.
seeing all the national parks and like that?
Yep.
There was one time my mom was napping in the front seat. We were passing a semi. Bam! Like right as we were by the tire, it exploded.
holy
And
shit.
it was like my mom just like literally had a heart attack right then and there. It's like, holy shit, that's a
Yeah. I mean, dude, if that happened to me, probably some pee would come out. Like, not a
Oh,
lot,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like enough to, you know, be
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, we're definitely gonna have to hit the next rest stop because I gotta blot this off. Like,
Yeah.
so, what story would you like to start with? What would you like to talk about first?
Well, I touched on it a little bit during last week Friday, my last week's Friday stream. But I figured let's kind of start off with some current video game events and current like reality events.
Sure.
See,
Oh, wait, can I also just sideline you real quick?
sure.
I'm at 48 followers, so
Go follow him.
if you haven't followed me,
Go follow him.
I'm desperately looking for the coolest person in the world to become my 50th or 49th. I'm remembering everybody at this point.
Don't want. Oh, Savage. Oh, why you gotta hate like that, man? Don't wanna.
that's
Kappa. Yeah, you better Kappa that shit.
Just want to put it out there. If anyone wants to be super cool, even if you're watching this on a review, you can throw me a follow. Like, I'm so close. You want to be
Yeah.
the coolest guy? I'll give
Yeah,
you mind
yeah.
hugs for the next like 2 weeks. All right. Now you know. Yeah.
Mind hug.
CDE and Moose were the last two. Get a personal shout out. Let's go. All right, go ahead. Sorry, just had to do that.
All right. But yeah, I figured why not kick it off with a current video game-ish event and current real-world event going on. The Olympics.
Yeah.
They started last Friday, and I mean, normally it's kind of like, yay, the Olympics, ooh, okay, cool. But seeing how they're in Tokyo during the Parade of Nations and some of the opening ceremonies like that, when they were all the athletes were coming out and like that, they were playing a lot of very identifiable songs from very popular video games franchises. Yeah.
Really.
They had a couple of Final Fantasy songs in there, a couple of Chrono Trigger songs in there, Monster Hunter songs. Other games were in there that I was just like, what in the world is this video game? I've never heard of this. So
it might not have come fucking stateside.
That's true too. I mean, there have been a lot of games that have not come stateside, and it's like, why did this not come stateside?
Or something. You're like,
yeah. Superman 64. No, unfortunately, that did come stateside.
Thanks, Titus.
Yeah.
Jesus shit.
E.T. on the Atari. That did come stateside too, unfortunately. And it's buried here too. Literally.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I saw the Final Fantasy thing. That was pretty cool. I saw I didn't watch it live. But the cycling event went around. It had this big Gundam.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
I already know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So they had this huge white Gundam, like I think it's like 30 or 40 feet. It's huge. Gundam. And the announcer had no fucking clue what Gundam was. So every time they came around the corner, he was like trying. It was like Pang Wang. It was like that. He kept going. The Gangnam style, you can see it again here, and Gangnam again, and like everyone like started like, and I get it, like a lot of people that watch the Olympics, they wouldn't know that that's like completely wrong, but like all the nerds were like,
yeah.
Gundam? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Especially considering how you look at the word,
right.
gun,
it's phonetical. Right, it's phonetically spelled. Like it's phonetically spelled. But
yeah.
No, that guy, he was really stuck in a 2016 dance that like, like maybe he thought that was what it was. I don't know.
Who knows?
I saw a really funny. A dude took it and basically wove it into the Gundam theme song and did it as a YouTube video. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, that's really cool, to be honest. In a way, there was a shit ton of anime stuff too, which I'll be talking about on the anime show on Thursday.
Cool.
But in a way, just because I'm Alex and I'm old and I'm a nerd and I used to get swirlies and shit for like my passions, kind of annoys me a little bit that I feel like I'm getting co-opted a little bit. But it's fine. Like it's nice to see that nerd culture is becoming this popular, that like at the fucking Olympics, which is a world event. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to rewind like literally 10 seconds there. You get swirlies for your passion?
I did. I got a swirly when we were in high school.
Okay.
That was actually one of the reasons that I ended up leaving Main and Well.
Yeah. But I mean, just the way you worded that though, it's like, it's your passion to get swirlies, huh?
No. It's just that, like I've always been this weird nerd who's like really, really into the shit that I'm into. So I'm always like, hey, you guys want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons for another 6 hours?
Yeah.
Like, you guys, let's play Magic. Like, I wasn't exactly the coolest kid in high school, which is, hey, whatever. Fuck those people. And literally trailer trash at this point. 90% of them like heroin addicts, trailer trash, pregos after like 9 times. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross school. Gross people. So whatever, fuck them. But yeah.
Savage puts in chat, waiting for a squad of men dressed up as Gundams to start dancing Gangnam style.
Oh, dude, dude, the brain dude, that'd be top.
in
I
like
would watch the
in
shit
like
out of that.
Gundam cosplay.
Yes, yeah, I 100% would watch that. I 100% would watch that.
Oh, that'd be
I
fucking
would,
awesome.
I might even do that as my new follower thing. Like, it's just a bunch of Gundams doing Gangnam. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
That'd be funny shit.
Oh hell yeah, man.
It is cool.
The other thing I want to say, as far as the Olympics, that is really kind of down to earth. Not to like bring it down to a downfall note here, but to bring it to a. I'm glad these athletes decided to do what they did to kind of shed light on shed the topic more in light. Crap, I can't even remember her name. The gymnast. That everyone's like, oh my god, she's so awesome. U.S. team, black gymnast. I forget her name.
The girl who got kicked for weed?
No.
No, that was the runner. That was the
Yeah,
runner.
that was the runner.
Yeah.
But she basically went to her coach and said, "I'm bowing out of the team competition for mental health. Because there's so much mental stress on me at the moment. I'm taking a seat. Let the rest of my team do it because I have full confidence in them. I just need to like refocus and make sure I'm in a good state." And that is a honest, serious issue that a lot of athletes do actually have on them as far as mental health issues and mental stress. Yeah. So the fact
I'm
that
sure in Russia they'd be like, "Whatever, bitch, get back out there."
yeah, yeah. And,
Like,
well, that and some of those some of the other Eastern countries, like China, North Korea, things like those, they could possibly be doing that too.
Bloc, really, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's kind of their gig.
But the fact that she was willing to do that and make it publicly known too, it's like, okay, that's really big of her to be able to do that. So I say mad props to her for that.
It's like a strong move to show. I think it's a strong move to highlight like how important mental health really is too. You know,
Yes,
um,
definitely.
it's nice to have that like progressive like, dude, I'm geeked out, chill.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it's a good play. I saw that Japan ended up fucking taking home table tennis for the first time in like I don't know, like 60 years. Good for them.
Very cool.
Like,
Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
nailed it. Fucking 10 out of 10. I
Yep.
like ping pong. It's a fun
Yeah.
fucking sport.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. And Simone Biles was the gymnast, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a talking point that we haven't been able to talk about yet. So I'd like to do this. It's still news.
Hmm.
But this is definitely more of an opinion piece. So you've seen the Steam Deck, yes?
Yes.
The mobile
Yeah.
Steam
The competitor to
the Switchy
the
boy.
Switch.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Um that thing looks gross as fuck. I'll be the first one to say it, dude. That thing looks gross. It looks like a Jaguar, like somehow time traveled to the future. I know it's like this is like something that you shouldn't say publicly, but gross. That thing looks gross. Cool, screen's big. They just released earlier today saying that they will not allow a game to run any lower than 30 FPS on it. That's kind of nice, you know? Um, it's basically saying that no matter if you get a Steam game and you're playing on a Steam Deck, it will always run at a minimum of 30 frames. Um, it still doesn't change the fact that it looks like a robot threw up on a 2x4. I just think that thing, like the placement of the D-pad and the analog sticks, and like, man, ugh, God, like, what was the Lynx? That's what it reminds me of. The Atari Lynx.
Okay. I
Like,
was also gonna say the Sega Game Gear.
sure, right. Like it's like kind of chunky and like
Mhm.
miss me with that shit. Like you
Yeah.
might like if Steam Deck actually like comes back and they get to I hope that didn't catch. If they get to a point where they actually make a version 2, like a sleeker, nicer one because I don't want to hold. I don't even like holding the Switch for very long outside of the deck. That is uncomfortable, dude. Those corners are savage on my hands. I have
Okay.
apparently weak little man boy hands. Um, and it's ouchy, dude. Like, can
Okay.
we make these things like, humans are gonna hold them?
Yeah, yeah. Can totally understand that. Also, just to give you a little bit of perspective compared to the Switch, I forget the exact numbers, but the Steam Deck weighs about I think it's a little over or a little under twice as much as the
Over.
Switch. Over?
It's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember exactly which way went, but
Yeah.
it's twice. And
It's heavy.
yeah, it's a chunky boy.
Yeah. It's
So
thick. I think that and like for me,
thick and not in a good way.
right, like thick with a C with a cube on the end. Not that it's three C's, but cubed. You're
Yeah.
like, that's not sexy. I feel like for me, uh, between the lack of support that Valve has always shown to these weird ideas that they do, hardware wise, previously, between that and just how utterly gross it looks. Like, again, I am, I do have a Switch, so that's one thing, and I
Mhm.
got a good rate. So maybe that does put me in more of the minority here, but God, you like a couple of my friends were like, "Oh, I already signed up, I already bought one." I'm like, "You fucking fanboy piece of shit!"
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just
because let's rewind and go back to that Steam controller.
right,
How much of a smash hit was that not?
yeah, yeah. But when it was launching, everyone was like, "Oh, gotta have it." It was like the fucking Ouya all
Yep.
over again. Like, yeah, thank you, Swish. Thank you for even remembering the Ouya. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, that's garbage. Like,
Yeah.
trash hardware for trash. Like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Thankfully, at least we got the Towerfall. That was a good game. That got ported onto everything else afterwards.
Okay, because I keep looking at that. I'm like, this really does look like a cool game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Towerfall's fun.
I never pulled the trigger on it.
If you see it on Steam, and if your hubby's into that kind of thing, super fun local co-op. Just kind of a I like Samurai Gun and those little tiny indie.
Oh yeah.
What's the other one that I was just gonna say? Fuck. I'm just gonna have to minimize this. It will take me 1 second. Speedrunners, the game.
Yeah.
That's another one I love. I love that
Okay.
game, and that could be real fun in the right environment. A couple of brews,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, the weird thing right now, I'm feeling that a lot of the indie developers, titles, that section of the industry
mm,
are getting a lot more attention because there's obviously the hidden gems that once they come to light, it's like, oh my god, this is such a great game. And then more people are like, oh, yeah, that is such a great game. What other gems are hidden here? And like the AAA titles are like, oh, yay, another Call of Duty. Okay, fine, whatever. Tell me when you're on the next one. Don't care. Hidden gems, hidden gems. What can we find for hidden gems? Kind of a thing. And like the AAA titles, it's getting to a point for me where it's like, unless you come out with something completely original and literally mind blowing, or have some sort of absolutely riveting, cutting edge new mechanic technology in a game, in a AAA title, it's kind of like, oh, it's another AAA game. Whoopee.
I
Show me all the awesome indies.
I feel like there's to slightly play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
You're right. Um, I haven't played a AAA game. Let's call it 4 years. Like I may have. Oh no. Okay. No. That's not true. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Um, Other than that, I can't do it anymore, dude. Like I cannot play AAA titles. They bore the ever living fuck out of me, and it's always the same old shit.
Yeah.
The here's the devil's advocate part though. Even being myself an owner of a fucking video game indie company and having my own stuff, dude, Steam is a huge disgusting industrial waste pipe of just duties coming out every single day.
Yeah.
So there is now this weird middle ground that like you have to be better than just the fucking shovelware bullshit that comes
Mhm.
out on Steam ad nauseum, and you have to be a little better than that. So it's like the mid tier developers, like Supergiant Games, or yeah, Supergiant Games, yeah, Supergiant
Mhm.
Games, not Supermassive Games. Very different companies, very different fucking properties.
Mhm.
Supergiant Games does great stuff. Rogue Legacy does great stuff. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? That like, uh, and even with Devolver, who I used to really, really like a lot of their stuff that they published. At this point, it's all becoming the same thing. Is it pixelated? Yep, there's fucking points. Is it some obscure, like you kind of don't really know what's going on with the storyline because of like drugs, or you have like dude, it's just always the same formula: high speed intensity, instantaneously reloading. There's just, it's become to a point where I could make a fucking bingo card for anything that's published by Devolver.
Mhm.
And like that's problematic too. Like, you know, it's, we're at such a weird point right now in the industry, because you're right, sometimes there is these Stardew Valley dudes. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Been working on it for 9 years. Like fucking absolutely loves this project. Comes out great. Um, Another one like Lucas Pope, like fucking like Undertale and stuff. Like amazing, good stuff. Like it's just man, whew, that is a lot of sewage that those dudes
Oh,
have to float to the top to get to any noticing. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. Definitely. But like I said, yes, those are the obvious like top of the list hidden gems. But it's also a thing of okay, what will those games spark in some developer, some indie developer somewhere else, either currently now or a couple of years down the road, to spark in their mind, hey, what if I did this? And then they go off down the rabbit hole and make their own thing, kind of like how Stardew Valley did.
Sure.
And
Good.
it takes time for things like that to happen, unfortunately.
I agree. And by the way, I misspoke when I was talking about Undertale earlier. That was actually Scott, not Lucas Pope. Lucas Pope is the guy who made Papers, Please. And he
Mm.
also made Legend of the Obra Dinn, which
Yep.
talk about, okay, Papers, Please did great. Like for a fucking paperwork simulator, that game did bonzo numbers.
Mhm.
Um, but um, the his follow up, Legend of the Obra Dinn, um, not so much. Even though I honestly think it's one of the funnest games I've ever played. Um, I only played the first like 3 missions of it because I instantly was like, damn, I want to stream this fucking thing. Because it's basically like a detective simulator.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think that like what we're looking for is more auteurs, but you can't force artistic creativity from everybody, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, you really can't force artistic creation out of anybody.
right.
It's something you can't force. That it's a spark, a muse, whatever term you want to give it. That has to hit that person at the right time, and then all of a sudden, it the light bulb goes off, and it starts happening.
Yep. I agree.
So
Um, I think I just went with the Valve one. You want to go?
yeah, okay. I'm going to skip over the obvious, like, giant elephant in the
Yeah,
room. We'll get to that
we'll
one later.
in a little bit. Let me have at least one more beer
Yeah, yeah,
before I
yeah.
commit to talking about that.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go reach a little back from something that I've had going for like at least a month on my list here. Um, actually, I think this was E3. uh,
Damn.
yeah, yeah. Ubisoft. They have a game. They have a. I don't even want to call it a game at the moment. Project Battle Cat. It is a crossover title involving Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and Division 2 factions.
Oh, I actually know what this is now.
Oh,
That
really?
game's called, yeah, the game's called X Defiant.
Ooh,
And
okay.
they had a release about it. a little while ago. Uh,
Judging by how you're describing its release, it's kind of like this is not as good as it potentially sounds.
Dude, like the fucking trailer was a nightmare, dude. It
Oh,
was the most cringy shit ever. Like basically they had the production guy and the designer, like head of both sides of it, and the one guy was like, "Oh, it's like Tom Clancy if Tom Clancy was at a punk rock show in the mosh pit." And I was like, "This is some cringy bullshit." Um, yeah. It's under the Tom Clancy name. It's a class-based shooter, and it is just it has a resounding meh from me.
yeah. I mean, just the simple fact of okay, class-based shooter. So if they're
Like
trying to go like R6, they're competing with themselves. If they're trying to go like somewhat
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah. Which again kind of competes with themselves with R6. Um, if they're trying to have it be more like MMO-ish, okay, they're competing with themselves again with Division. So it's like, what are you trying to compete against aside from
It's a
yourselves?
it's a free to play shooter that has hero based classes is what it is. And I got to tell you, looking at the models and like I don't know, man. It looked like a hodgepodge of horseshit to me. Now granted
Oof.
it's free, I guess, like so
They'll get
cool
some
or
people that
whatever.
way at least.
Yeah. But the fucking models look like if you just shook Rage 2 upside down for quarters and
No.
whatever fell out of its pants, and then you just slap that on some fucking bullshit and then made all the levels like they were in an abandoned skate park. Like it's like trying to get this demographic that like I can't even understand who it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like because that was like ooh man. And I love Tom Clancy games. Well, I love Rainbow Six and I love Splinter Cell. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I guess there's that.
I mean, hell, I can remember when what was it, Chaos Theory came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally launch day, you and I were jamming in your apartment playing that,
Yep.
and non-ranked. But I mean, you and I were just horsing around playing that and all sorts of fun stuff.
I still, I still think that if they're too scared to make a full-fledged Splinter Cell game, but they made a $40, here's all the maps, here, this is the skill sets of both the mercs and the spies. If it was just multiplayer only and it was $40, I would 100% give them that money. If even if it was all just here, it just looks new and nice, and it's just multiplayer only, I would give them that money. But I know that I'm in the minority because the last two Splinter Cell games didn't even have multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, so, which is unbelievably absurd. If anyone is listening right now, good lord, find two, three, four friends. Go get yourself copies of Splinter Cell. I don't care. Pick one. I pick Double Agent. It's my favorite. It's not the rest of people's. And go play it. It's fun. It's $6. Go play it. Super
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. Actually, I have not played that one. I played Chaos Theory, and I believe it was the one after that. Because Chaos Theory was 2v2. The one after
Mm-hmm.
that was 3v3, which
Mm-hmm.
that one, the PvP on that one was a little.
I love that game because they removed the guns from the spies. Spies had to be sneaky, and they made them way more agile. And
True.
they could run real fast. They could go into ducts and vents really, really quick by just jamming on RB. And as
Yep.
soon as you did it, you could barrel roll through fucking glass. Like, dude, that was so cool. Like, that was
Yeah,
the entire
that's true.
experience boiled down. But people were like, spies need guns. Meh.
Mm,
Like, god damn it, motherfuckers. Oh no, it was after Double Agent. Yeah, right. So the third one was the yeah, that was the one. Yeah. Super good. I don't
yeah.
care. I'll play any of them. I'll play any of them any day. I would play that literally right now. I will drop this. Fuck this stream. Let's go play some fucking 1v1s. Splinter Cell. Pick one. I own them all. I have physical copies of all of them.
I was gonna say if it wasn't for the simple fact of I have to actually hook up my Xbox and or 360, the Splinter Cell copies that I picked up, I still have.
Nice. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that my Xbox and my PC had also blown up at the exact same time, I would definitely be down. But I don't have an Xbox at all anymore. So there you go.
Yeah. That and I think I may still have to cleanup from when my cat pissed on my bag of old electronics, and the original Xbox, like the big chonky
Oh, the
boy.
brick.
Yeah, that one was in the very bottom of it. So
Yeah, that one's probably dead.
hopefully not. I mean, that thing would live through anything. However, if you somehow manage to pop the front cover off, it's like, nope, 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 can't do that.
Look at this dog. Look
Yeah.
at this dog.
Oh,
He's just staring at me in the background.
yeah.
This is really creepy. What are you doing?
And as soon as you turned around, his tail was like wag, 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 wag.
I think he might need to go out. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You bastard.
Uh, but no, seriously, as far as like the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, and the GameCube, back in the day, I actually remember a article, reading an article of I forget which company, whatever gaming magazine company did it. They did a thing where they would drop the three consoles repeatedly from like just holding it waist high, shoulder high, and then like off of a 3-story building, like 2 or 3 story building off the roof. The PlayStation 2 like broke instantly no matter how high you dropped it. It was a fragile piece of glass and always shattered. But the thing that was kind of funny was, of the original Xbox and the GameCube won only because I believe it was on the third drop, the off the like 2-story build, top of the roof of a 2-story building, the front panel popped off, so you couldn't technically hit the power button. That's the only reason why basically the GameCube won. It's like, what the fuck, man? Oh well. I mean, Microsoft, I will say this, for the original Xbox, they did build that thing like a fucking, literally a black box. I mean, it was hard to break that thing apart. There was a game out that fell around, Hunting the Rake. The devs dropped. Fell around Hunting the Rake. The devs dropped the game, and someone else, I think, picked up the same complex and made a Bigfoot hunting game. What? Okay, that just seems odd, but okay, Savage. But yeah, as far as other things to talk about, we do have quite a few other items still to talk about. Actually, I don't know if we've talked about that one in the past, so I'll just keep that one there for the moment. Welcome back, good sir.
Hello. All right.
Doggo happy?
Yeah. You
Okay.
He was Sam Fishering me in the corner and just like, all right, well, don't break my neck. That can we also just one more second? Last Sam Fisher thing. Had the greatest feature of all time when you were a spy and you grabbed another human player who was playing as the mercenaries. You could just talk in your microphone like you were whispering into the guy's ear. You'd be like, "Get fucked, nerd," and then snap their neck. Oh, so good.
Oh no,
Great feature.
See, I wouldn't do things like insult them or do things like that. I would just be like, banana phone.
What's your day? Snap your neck.
Or
your mama said hi.
like from the what was it, the Honda Element? I think it was a brand new car back when that game came out at first, the ability to talk into their ear. So who was it? Was it Vituperad, I think? Yeah, yeah, I think it was Vit. He and I, once I moved down to Georgia, he and I think wound up playing some games of that, and just random people, and it like go to snap a guy's neck, and it would be like, I pinch, because the Element had the little crab, and he's like, I pinch. So it's like, I pinch. Just weird random things like that. People would be like, what the fuck? And then you snap their neck and they're like, oh damn.
So this is not really a story point, but I made it a story point because it annoyed me so bad. So I was reading on Kotaku today, and I know that most people don't click into articles, but I do, for this show, like to give you guys like
do our research and due diligence. Yeah.
Um, in the middle of reading an article, a humongous black box. I'm trying to show on screen how big it was. This big, and it just said, "Kotaku, you like Kotaku?" It's a black box with white text, and it just says, "Kotaku, we use cookies." I was like, I was in the middle. Okay, fine, whatever. So I X off it. As soon as I X'd off it, brought me all the way back up to the top of the article. I was like, man, it's like they are purposely trying to aggravate people who are on their site trying to fucking read their goddamn content. Ugh, sorry. That was literally the number one thing. It was the first thing on my like checklist today to talk about. All right. Now, my second one that I'm going to do as a complete and total side one. I don't even play this game, but I just love it so much. So, Guild Wars 2 has a new expansion coming out.
That's still
It's
going.
called, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's actually pretty goddamn good too. Like I went and I talked to my buddy Sky. He still plays, and I asked him like the current state of things, and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's actually still pretty damn good. The community's like really kind of nice and just happy to have people there and shit, and like content expansions have still been coming at a regular-ish clip, which is cool. But End of Dragons is the name of the new expansion. I love that title. But this was the part that caught my eye. They have a co-op turtle tank coming into the game with this expansion. And yes, it is as cool as you think it is in your fucking mind. It's a gigantic rideable mount that two people can ride, and it literally does have turrets and shit on the top of it that you can actually fire. Okay, really? That's all I get out of you? That's bullshit.
Okay.
Co-op battle turret tank? Like, fucking.
No, I'm just like trying to envision all the various things that this could possibly look like, and it's just like that could be very interesting.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Super cool. For as far as mounts go in MMOs, that is a dope ass idea. And
Yeah.
co-op and like turrets. Come on, man.
Oh, hell
Like,
yeah.
good lord. That's a fever dream.
Yeah. Now, I mean, to kind of play devil's advocate here, as far as multi-person mounts, those have been around for actually quite a while, unfortunately. Because I remember the first one I can recall right off the top of my head is World of Warcraft back in their Lich King expansion. So like 4 or 5 expansions ago now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
10, 11?
Yeah, something like that.
10, 11, somewhere there.
Yeah, somewhere.
But did they have fucking turrets that you could actually fire?
No, see, now that is new. It probably also has to do with the fact of combat in a lot of these other MMOs that have multi-person mounts is a lot different, I would imagine, than what Guild Wars 2 has. So that's probably why there aren't turrets or weapons in general
on gigantic turtles. I also wondered, because they did say the word turtle turret tank, if it actually handles like a tank. Like it had tank controls, like you actually had to like, that would be kind of funny. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that like the players wouldn't think it is as funny as I would, but I would find that to be hilarious.
Turtle turret tank. See, now hearing the wording of it again, it's like turtle turret tank. So I'm envisioning, I'm like going like way off the road here and envisioning a tank that has a turret that shoots turtles out of it.
Or maybe it's just a tank that is one big turtle that also fires turrets. Like the other way, it just shoots trebuchets, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, gotta get inventive with this shit, really.
Yep. I disagree.
Ark has a few dinos that have 3-person riding on them and can shoot from them. Okay, well, I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
like I am living for that kind of shit. That is top.
I will say this though, Ark is, I envision, or from my understanding of Ark, it's more of a survival game that has MMO qualities to it.
Kinda.
Well, I mean, in the fact that you can host it on server and have like asinine amount of people join and like that. That's what I'm referring to.
It's more like Rust, to be honest, because it doesn't have like magic or any of that shit. There is stats and stuff that do go up, but Like,
Yeah.
it's not exactly traditional, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you got another one, or you want me to go again?
I can go reach into the Wayback Machine here, Wayback Machine, about a month ago or so.
Mhm.
Um, Hearthstone apparently had their Grandmaster competition, blah 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 tournament, something like that.
Mhm.
Um, and kind of the shitty thing that happened was during the finals. One of the competitors, like he was up, it was like best of five kind of a thing. He came out very quickly, 2-0 lead, if I remember how it went. The other guy came back 1-2, and the final game, he started off in a good position, and then the other guy just got like the dream draw, and he was just like table flip, disconnect. And it's like, dude, really? Disconnect? It's kind of, it's shitty in that it's poor sportsmanship, but I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of like you played how long, and
And honestly, like fucking,
yeah,
especially like it's one of those things for me because I do follow a lot of esports actually, and shit like that is stuff that like even though it's minor, it keeps us away from being considered as normal sports. If you see what I'm saying,
yeah,
um,
especially
because
consider,
you're not being professional.
yeah,
You're supposed to be a professional player of whatever your esport is.
hmm,
You should behave appropriately
yep,
as if you do have sponsors, which a lot of these teams and dudes individually do have. Don't be an asshole. Like, and I know
yep,
that does happen in normal professional sports, but considering how fledgling esports is as a whole, people shouldn't be doing that.
yeah.
Like it's you know,
And usually when it does happen in actual sports, that athlete or athletes get punished somehow, some
right.
form. This guy
Usually a
actually,
fine.
yeah, usually this guy, if I remember correctly from the article, walked away. No fine, no penalty, no nothing. It was just he was a poor sport and just was like, me, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna rage quit, disconnect. And it's like,
And
really?
well, the thing is, I guess you can think about it this way. A player like that technically is getting hurt because that guy's not going to get a sponsorship. Nobody, no Corsair isn't going to hit them up for a keyboard sponsorship, if you act
True,
like an
true.
professional dick. So he basically, to quote my mother, cut off his nose to spite his face, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But the worst part of that scenario at the time was it was all during COVID shit. So it wasn't in person. It was all
Oh, that's
done
even worse.
virtually. So his opponent is just like, what's going
Maybe the
on?
game
The game
disconnected,
is sitting
right?
here showing him waiting for opponent's turn, and it's like, what's going on? He's not doing anything. Someone please give me information. And he's sitting here just panicking his ass off.
And the announcers are trying to fill the space.
Yeah.
Like the production team is trying to figure out
Mhm.
what's going on. Like, dude, you kind of cucked a bunch of people there. Like,
Yep.
that's super unprofessional.
Yep.
Like, get your fucking shit together, dude.
I mean, I will give him this. He did at least, after like shutting down the game, turning his camera off and all that, after about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, he did finally acknowledge in Discord he conceded the match, um because he wasn't liking what he was seeing that was coming at him the next turn, so he was just
Sure.
like, okay, fine, fuck it. But to sit there and do it the way he did, it's like, dude, was it that much easier to rage quit and disconnect versus hit the I concede
Right.
button off on the side?
Right. Like a man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like a professional.
yeah,
Like, in all
exactly.
honesty. Um, you got anything else for that?
Back to you.
Um, so did you see the Unreal Engine 5 demo?
Yes. uh Highlights of it, I will say, not the whole thing.
Okay. Okay. I watched the video. As a white guy with facial hair, I will say I am sick of seeing white guys with facial hair that all look the fucking same, and your brand new engine, right? Exactly. Like dude, your brand new engine, you just put out another way. Like, I get it, like that, like that's the what majority of AAA titles think that heroes are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Could I see a black woman in Unreal 5 as your demo?
Yeah.
Could I see a child? Like, just to me, I was just like, ah, like yeah, that's good looking. Don't get me wrong, like,
Right.
but
Yeah.
like I've just seen that grizzled macho, like nice beard hair, bro. Like good stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there are so many like other things that you could have shown to
Mhm.
be like, look how realistic. Like, you know what I would have done? I would have done a couple of different models.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because it just comes across as, hey, look, we made Commander Shepard with a beard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
God damn.
And
Fuck.
especially in, I hate to bring up this point, but especially in the current
Climate.
climate, day and age, atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, to hey, here's our latest greatest, and it's a white
White
dude.
guy
It's
that you've
like
basically seen 7 million times
"Ugh,
before.
that's cringy for choosing that one kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me
You could have
personally,
given me an old Asian woman who was 5 foot tall with that old ass mustache, and I would have been like, badass. That's amazing. Like, you know what
exactly,
I'm saying? Like,
exactly. But like you said, do a couple of different subjects.
yeah.
I mean, if you really are that hell bent on doing the white dude with a beard, fine, throw him in there. Do like a black female. Have the regular spectrum of like human relatable subjects in there, but then think outside the box. How many video games do we have that don't have humans in them?
Yeah.
Do
That's true.
aliens? Do Groot, for fucking crying out loud?
Yep.
I mean, with Groot, you've not only got tree like vegetation and like that, but you have human like features. So there's so much there that's like you guys could have done so much better and had such a more impactful presentation. And it's like, oh hey, there's the ball. Oh hey, it's on the ground now because we dropped it. Fuck.
The
Whoops.
crazy part is you have to like imagine that that goes through, like, you know, again, I've worked in the video game industry, you've worked in the video game industry,
Mhm.
like that goes through so many people to get approved.
Oh god, yeah.
It's and higher ups, so many higher ups, and it's like, holy shit, man, like nobody thought like maybe we should fucking diversify this. And
Mhm.
PS, I also feel like since you are Unreal Engine, it
Oh
would
god, yeah.
be a nice step forward to be like, hey, look, we can do a little old fucking Asian lady. We could
Mhm.
do a fucking a dude from Mozambique. Like that's the amount of like variety you could actually like. It would impart to developers like, hey, look, you can do more than just the grizzle. As a matter of fact, I would have actually done the entire thing, like everything that we were just talking about, and then the last one, I would have done the grizzled white guy thing with the short hair that we've seen a million times, and then just gone with like the anti Ghostbuster symbol, like,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
we get
that
it.
would have been interesting.
Like I don't know. Yeah, you had an opportunity there, and like I just feel like that just really kind of missed the
Drop the
mark,
ball.
I guess.
Drop the
Yeah,
ball, miss the
yeah,
mark. Yeah. Yeah,
yep.
definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. It did look good. To be fair, talking about the actual
True.
tech itself, the
Yes.
tech itself did look very impressive.
Oh god,
as
yeah. Yeah.
Unreal always does,
Yeah.
right? Like Unreal looks very good. But that was
Yeah. I mean,
not a good look.
aside like pushing aside the race card and the racial kind of
Implications.
stereotypical stuff, when they brought the camera in real close and you could like see individual pores and
yeah.
the individual hairs coming out, it's like, okay, getting that much detail in, that takes time, that takes a lot of compute power, and it's awesome that they're able to do that.
I agree. But if there is like just basically a generic white guy setting is what you kind of said.
Yeah.
What they should have honestly like okay, let me just like fucking let me try to take out half my brain and be a corporate executive. If we did this with a black male, just an African American cat
Mhm.
and we showed the difference between facial hair and head hair between the two models, that would have even been a good step. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because like that would have been impressive to me. I'd been like, oh shit,
Mhm.
they're not just making some dumb model that they can still do perfectly white straight bullshit. Like that would have been cool. But they
Yeah.
just, I don't know, it just feels like a missed opportunity.
Oh
That's
hell
all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Like, ugh, but whatever. You want to go next, or you want me to keep going?
Sure. I,
Or wait, or do we crack open this nut? Because
yeah.
we have
Yeah.
been
We're
doing
an
it for an
hour
hour.
in. We're an hour in. We've been dancing around it all fucking night so far.
Yeah.
At least we're not leaving it till the very end like we did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
We're gonna sandwich this right in the middle. That's kind of what
yeah.
I was. Yeah.
Forewarning, guys, this is not a good topic, no matter what way you look at it. So,
And if you have,
sorry.
well, if you have like a thing about rape or sexual harassment and shit that's gonna trigger you, because this is kind of fucked up. This is a
Yeah.
fucked up story.
Yeah.
Um,
The-
and I didn't really realize it when it first had started coming off, but like over the last like 2 weeks, the Blizzard Activision investigation has really hit a head.
Mhm.
Um, so just a warning, if you're not into this conversation, just fast forward past if you're watching, in a post, or if I get it. I just get it. I know that like everyone is different and it's just not fucking cool, but like we got to talk about this, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately.
yeah,
Uh,
you
so
start.
yeah, I guess. Blizzard Activision, they've for a couple of weeks now have been really in shit's crosshair kind of a thing. They've been swimming in the cesspool, whatever you want to call it. There have been numerous allegations and actual I can't think of the wow, my brain is dead right now. Can't think of the right words. Basically sexual harassment charges I think filed against not only the company but individuals within the company too, I believe.
10, 10,
10?
10,
Okay.
10 unnamed
10 unnamed?
individuals.
Okay. And it's not just women that were being sexually harassed. It was also men. And I mean, sexual harassment period is never a good thing. No matter what way you try to rationalize it, it is never a good thing. Um yeah.
So in 2018, this just came out. In 2018, the DFEH, which is basically uh, the work organization laws of California, the state of California, in 2018 started looking into allegations against Activision and Blizzard specifically. And so 2018 is a long fucking time ago.
Mhm.
And now basically a bunch of shit is starting to like really come to light. It was a 2-year investigation started in 2018. Everything has come to light now. A bunch of people, obviously, women were the first ones to kind of step forward and be like, this is a bunch of bullshit. And what happened was, so on tomorrow, actually,
Mhm.
Wednesday, 2,000 people who work for Activision have signed a paper basically saying we can't deal with this anymore. It's been ostensibly overlooked by management for over, I mean, shit, at that point, like fucking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of
Yeah.
where it was a fucking boys club in there.
Oh yeah.
Um, and the things got so bad that the allegations were like lumped on one another. It was like one person would talk and then another person would say something. And like it's one of those things where it's so bad and the response from Activision was so lame. Everyone's been like, we failed, that we didn't do our best. It's like, really, dude? You have fucking multiple people saying how bad it was. I found out today one of the allegations that one of the women levied against the executives was they used to have a thing called a desk crawl, where men would get on their hands and knees and crawl through people's cubes. Do you see? Yeah. Okay. Um, so it got so bad that people were leaving en masse, like en masse. And this wasn't just testers. This was female producers, this was female designers, this was female higher ups. They were not comfortable at all in that work environment. Like, it was fucked, like, to be completely honest with you, like, fucked.
Yeah.
um I like Blizzard, but this, I had to go fuck Blizzard.
Hmm.
After hearing, like, over the last like 2 weeks, if you're interested, every news site, every news site has multiple allegations and sites being cited, and it's just such a fucking disgusting bad look.
Hmm.
Um, for a multi fucking $1 million company too, like, ugh. Um, but tomorrow, there is a 150-person walkout. Um, People are going to be showing up, and I think they said like 150 people are showing up on the campus um, to physically protest them. They're taking a day off without pay to protest their own company. 2,000 people signed that, and 150 people, and some virtually, I found out, are even going to show up because of Corona, just to fucking say, dude, enough is fucking enough. This is dog shit. You people have known about this shit. For me, the fucked up part was um, that HR was basically doing nothing. If you
Yep.
reported a sexual harassment suit on anyone, they were actually allowing that information to go up the chain. Who reported it, making it
Yep.
easy to target those who are being sexually harassed. Like, oh my god, just fucking awful, dude.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah. And it's really horrible considering the simple fact of looking back on Blizzard's history of games that they've come out with and how generally the gaming community as a whole, for the most part, lifted Blizzard up to that like lofty pedestal and put them up there. And to hear this now, it's like,
Fuck them.
yeah, we kind of need to tear down that pedestal and like dig a hole and bury you in it, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. The thing that really I didn't realize the DFEH thing. The state of California, the government, the
Hmm.
most like worthless thing of all time. They are the ones, and then so they're like, we're gonna be bringing up charges and shit, and then Activision's like, I mean, this is crazy. This is like big government just coming down on the little guy. It's like, dude, the government had to come in and be like, stop sexually harassing people in your own fucking workplace. Do you understand how fucked up that is? That the government would have to get involved? Like, holy shit, man. Like, that is fucked.
That and the simple fact of it's like, okay, if Activision is saying, "Oh, we're the little guy," you're one of the biggest fucking video game companies there are.
Actually, by numbers, they are the biggest. By dollar value. Like,
Case in point,
like,
it's like you're fucking the biggest. Shut the
yeah.
hell up. You're not small by any stretch of the imagination.
And by the way, the things that the basically that employees are asking for is basically fair treatment.
Yeah.
People,
Mhm.
women would like the same amount of money, that because again, allegations have gone back years about this. If a woman was hired at the same position that I was in, she was always paid less. She was always given less important jobs because the boys considered it to be, I can't trust a woman to do this. Okay. Okay. Wow. That's fucking bad. The other one that I found out actually today, which is super fucked. Um, One of the women who had complained went on a a work trip with her boss, and while she was in, I believe it was Germany, she committed suicide. And when the German police showed up, they obviously confiscated everything. The boss had a butt plug and lube found on him. Dude, what the fuck, man? Like, what universe are we living in? Like, seriously.
One where I wish I had the escape button to go back to reality.
Or one where I could just be like, you know what? I want out. Like, it just like fuck this universe. Like, it is screwed.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe, and they're still like, this is just a case of the man. They're just stepping all over us small businessmen. It's like, dude, what? A woman killed herself because she felt like she had no other option, and you're coming out swinging against the government? Holy fuck, man. Um, yeah, it's just so impossibly crazy. Like, it is so
Yeah.
impossibly crazy. Fuck Blizzard Activision. I'm gonna put it this way. I legit am not going to buy an Activision or a Blizzard title until, and I'm sick and tired of them because they've had press releases for like 2 weeks,
Mhm.
just saying, oh, this isn't how it is now. This was an old thing. It doesn't happen like that anymore. Then why are 2,000 people still today signing documents saying that this is all fucked up and your entire place is screwed and you're having a walkout tomorrow? Like, bullshit. So clearly nothing's changed. I will not be buying anything Blizzard Activision. Like, I don't even know if they could ever win me back, to be completely honest with you. I'm not buying
Yeah.
any. I don't care what the title is. I'm pissed off. And as a matter of fact, I'm pissed off that I'm not going to buy Diablo 4. I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. I am going to vote with my dollars because that's the only thing that these major companies fucking hear.
Yep.
That's the only fucking thing they hear.
Yep. Yep. Especially considering how when nowadays, especially, there are so many other games that are like Diablo, like World of Warcraft, like Call of Duty, that are either just as good or if not better in a lot of different ways. That it's like, okay, fine, you guys want to make Diablo 4, fine, whatever, don't care because of the massive shitstorm that you guys did. I'm going to take that $60 that I probably had this not actually happened and given to you guys. I'm going to take that and go spend it over there instead.
Yep.
And
yeah, and I feel like that, like, if, okay, look, and that this does come off a smidge on the preachy side from me, but it's, if you still like want to buy Diablo, if you still want to play Call of Duty, that's totally fine too. That each person gets to make their own independent choice, right? Like, that's how the world works. I'm just saying, for me, I'm not fucking doing it. Like, I'm just not. I will not support them until like true change actually is doing anything, because I'm telling you that is bullshit. That, like, and by the way, that 1,000 or that 2,000, hey, that 2,000 person survey, it was
fun.
Actually, yeah.
yes, we are.
Really weird time to come in and have that fucking conversation.
yeah.
But like, that was signed by only 1,000 employees last week, and in 1 week it has doubled to 2,000. So that means bullshit. Fuck you, and fuck your bullshit lies, like, to the public, because you're trying to keep your stock value up. That doubly makes me want to go, fuck you, Blizzard Activision. Like, eat shit. Like, I can't abide by that.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I wish it was more than just the 2,000 that would be walking out tomorrow. But I mean,
so interesting.
Everyone also has to think of their own situation that they're in.
Right, and that was interesting. So the persons who were putting together the walkout stuff said that they would understand anyone who didn't do that. Especially, one of the things that was highly noted, FYI, was the QA testers, because they don't get, as a matter of fact, this was a direct quote, because they do not get paid as much as they are worth, that they would understand if you could only stand by emotionally and not by leaving work, because seriously, QA testers get paid garbage, and
Oh
if you
yeah.
miss a day of work, that is a huge hit to your paycheck.
Hmm.
So it was cool to see that even the organizers of the walkout were like, if you have to stay because of money, we totally understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But my God, how fucking shit is that? Like, god damn, dude.
Yeah.
Such a ugh, God, this fucking industry is so. I love it so much, but fucking A, is it
When you
dirty
start
and
seeing a lot of the hints of dirt here and there, and then realizing that's just a small little trace that leads to this giant cesspool of other shit, it's like,
yeah,
oh, damn it.
yeah. It really sucks,
Yeah.
honestly. It
Yeah.
it sucks to be such a fan of an industry that is essentially it's new. I get that, but it's
Mhm.
almost like completely unregulated. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
like these mega corporations get to do whatever the fuck they want, and that's why it comes back to the money for me. They
Yeah.
don't get my money.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you don't get
I
mine.
don't blame you. And realistically, I looking at it, and again going back to the point of there's so many other games that are the same genres
Right,
in
doing the same
by
things.
other companies. Thinking about it right now, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna wind up getting Diablo 4 either because of
I,
this.
I I'm certainly not. I'm certainly not. And I'm not buying that fucking Diablo 2. I'm not gonna
Yep.
buy Overwatch 2. Dude, I am like oh man, this white guy is so sacrificing everything. But no, fuck that. Like I am kind of sacrificing at least a little bit because
Hmm.
I wanted to play some of those. But fuck that. I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
Exactly.
too fucked. It's too fucked, man.
I mean,
If they were importing a sex industry, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going to support that. Like, no, of course not. Nobody wants children to be sex workers. Like, and I
yeah.
wouldn't support them either.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ugh.
And realistically, I think at the moment, pretty much the only reason why I still have the Blizzard BattleNet installer hub thing on my computer was at least for Diablo 4.
Yep.
But now with this, it's kind of like,
Fuck off with that
yeah,
shit.
I think I'm gonna uninstall that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like, you
yeah,
will not see me playing any Blizzard game like until something actually happens, which I guarantee might be never.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because it is a big corporation.
I
Like,
mean,
and
go on.
good. No, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a reason why they've been referring to this in a lot of these articles as the environment in Blizzard Activision has been a frat house, and it's
Right.
like that's not a good environment to a just be in, and b run a business out of.
And this is coming off the back of what happened at Riot, like in 2016.
Yep.
Riot had the same exact shit happen, and they had the same thing happen. And like, it's like these major companies don't fucking see the fucking writing on the wall, dude. Like, sorry, you can't be non-inclusive. You can't fucking treat people different. Like, you can't apparently allows sex parties basically. Like what the fuck, man? I know I gotta make some levity here because seriously I'm killing
Yeah,
myself
yeah,
by not
yeah.
like I, when it comes to serious stuff I have to decompartmentalize by making some
Oh
jokes
yeah,
occasionally.
yeah. That's no problem there, dude.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know, man. This whole thing just smells like anus, and I hate that like all of us are wrapped up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
As fans, you know. Um, I would hate it if like one day like a fucking documentary came out about Stan Lee and he was like a rapist or something. I'd be like, oh come on, like you know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Like, 'cause I'd have to write him off. But like
Yeah,
fuck
yeah. So who's gonna suffer if people don't buy their games? I mean,
the company,
the
the
company,
shareholders.
the company and shareholders, yeah, but also that then does trickle down to the employees that are still there. Which
Don't
I
fucking try
mean,
to justify this like that.
oh
Don't even
yeah, yeah.
bother.
That's the
That
other
shit.
thing
Get
though.
that shit the fuck out of my face. I
Is
don't.
if you justify it like that, then you might as well just say, okay, all of this that's happening at Blizzard, it's perfectly okay, and it should just keep happening. And it's like, no, this shit has to stop.
Yeah,
Period.
and you know who the first people on the chopping block is? Every one of these fucking 10 undisclosed fucking people who are under investigation by the DFEH. Those dudes are the first ones. And once they get their fucking heads rolled by the government, maybe we'll actually see some real change internally within the company. Like that would be the first one.
I would say yes, those should be the first ones gone. Probably the next one's gone should be their entire HR department that let this to continue happening.
Yep. Which is fucked up because that's what HR is supposed to do and
Yeah.
be there for.
Yeah.
Is the employees, not the fucking upper management, but the employees. You're supposed to back them up. Take these any complaint. I don't care. If somebody makes fun of you for eating fish in the fucking microwave, yeah, you're a piece of shit. But that guy should still fucking represent you. Like, I don't know. It's just that's fucked up to have HR be against you, you know?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. Are we done with this? Please tell me we're done with this.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on this one for like 20 minutes at least.
I know. I knew that was going to have to happen because it was a big fucking deal, and I'm genuinely heated.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck that company.
Yep.
Like, all right. Oh, hey, you want to do something just kind of light and breezy real quick?
Sure. We could definitely use it after this.
Yeah, a little breezy. I found this kind of interesting. I don't even know where I found this. I kind of deep delved it. Final Fantasy 16 is being worked on right now.
Cool.
You know, as the next in the installment of the
Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, in the beloved series.
Yep.
They're actually doing voiceovers first in English, and then they're recording the Japanese for a first ever.
I can understand that.
Okay, now go ahead with your thought.
Typically the Japanese text. Now, I don't know if this also is a direct translation into voice, spoken word. Japanese text is smaller than English. So therefore, when it came to all the text boxes, they had, when translating over to other languages, they had to be like, okay, this is what it says in Japanese. We need to say that same context in this other language, and we only get halfway through. How can we shorten this to be what it needs to say and still convey the information? So maybe as far as maybe it's verbally it's same kind of thing. I don't know.
So I do know what they said about it. What they said was this one is supposed to be kind of going a little bit more back to fantasy as opposed to literally what's been going on for like way too fucking long.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
And because they're doing a more medieval theme with this, that they want the voice capture to be done first in English so they can line up more with the mouth movements, and then they're going to so basically they're doing the exact opposite as like a kung fu film. So they're going to have,
oh my gosh,
right. Well, if you're having somebody do an old Englishy accent, ye old English accent, so that's really, I think that's really interesting and really cool. And it's a nice thing to see from a Japanese country that they're like kind of like, okay, you know what? Let's go with source material as opposed to what we would normally do.
True.
So yeah, I'm kind of cool with that. Like I think that's cool. Like a very forward thinking Japanese thing, because like normally those dudes are like, fuck you Japanese, and we don't care the background of the theme. This time they're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to do something that's thematically medieval. Let's start in English and work our way backwards. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that definitely is kind of cool.
I like that. And to a small part of our voice actor brothers and sisters out there, good for you, because maybe they're starting to also respect your work a little bit more, and you know, that's an important step too.
Yeah, definitely. Any more?
Nope, just thought it was fun.
Okay.
Thought it was a nice breezy little exit.
Okay. I got another one here, kind of continuing in that same fun, breezy kind of vein. Apparently recently, kid tried to buy a
I saw that.
Graphics cards, no one can buy them. Period. They're like they're non-existent. They don't exist anymore. Don't worry. Graphics cards are going away. No one ever gets one. Kid was trying to get a graphics card. Went shopping on Newegg and found a loophole in their system.
In the lottery.
Yeah, in their lottery system as to how to get a RTX 3070. Basically, and the really nice thing about this is what the father then did as well. Not just what the kid did, but what the father did. Because what wound up happening is on the PC Builder app that Newegg has on their mobile platform, the kid went in, built a PC there, put it over in the cart, and removed all the components except for the graphics card. So he was then able to get a graphics card for $730, which was a RTX 3070, and
which are like $1,500 at this point.
Yeah, and kid got it. He got it. Newegg was then like, we need to close that loophole, which they did apparently.
But they still honored his $750 purchase.
Yes, they still honored his purchase of the RTX 3070. But the really cool part was the dad sat there and was quoted as saying, I could have been like, I thought about purchasing more, but didn't want to abuse it, and would be like, and would give other people opportunity. So it's like, okay, cool. We got the redeeming ray of sunshine. Seriously. That someone found, yeah, that someone found the loophole, found a way to abuse the system, and they were like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to let them know about it so that they can fix it. And then we're going to just take our one that we got and move on.
Yeah. Because the other way that guy could have gone is definitely the scumbag reseller.
Yeah.
Definitely could have done that. Yeah. Like, or he could have gone on a Reddit and been like, hey, Reddit, this is another way you could do it, and you don't only have to pay the fucking, but he didn't. Like, that is an actual hashtag wholesome, like good stuff. Yeah. Now, granted, it is a little weird because Newegg is still a big fucking corporation, but I appreciate the effort to be cool and kind to other people who are looking for graphics cards. It's not like they did it for Newegg, really. It was nice to them report it, but they had an opportunity to scumbag it out and they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. That is really cool. Sometimes you do see some shit like that and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was every person, but it's not. Yeah. It's like 90%. It's like 90%. 10% of humanity is still good. Like, I mean, I'll take what I can get at this fucking point.
The whole world's not a flaming dumpster fire.
No, just 90%.
90% of it.
Let me have my wins. Yeah, that was cute though. That was very cute.
Meanwhile, it's kind of like, okay, the theme of the the talk show so far, going good, dive. Okay, coming back up.
Pull it back.
Yeah.
Faith in humanity restored.
Or at least trying to.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll just leave it at trying to for the moment, because you never know.
That is true. And tomorrow's a new day.
Unfortunately.
So I got another one that's it's a little disappointing. But I wanted to talk about it because I saw it and was like, I read the blurb at first and I was like, that's so cool. And then I read the full article and I was like, damn, feels like a missed opportunity. Monster Hunter Rise Cross Okami. And I was like, oh shit, can I be Amaterasu? Or do we have to defeat Amaterasu? Like, is that going to be like a boss fight? Turns out, no. In Monster Hunter Rise, Okami Amaterasu, the wolf from Okami, is going to be a rideable mount, which is still cool. Like, I like Amaterasu. I think that model is hella dope. The classic, Ninetales and all that shit. That's super cool. But man, I sure was thinking, man, hunting Amaterasu, that sure would be fun. Like, which is pretty fucked up on my point. But it would be kind of cool to kill the sun goddess, whatever.
It'd be fun, and yet it'd also be really weird, because it's like, okay, would they even try to incorporate in the like drawing mechanic that they had?
That's what I would. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I
And the
mean,
pissing mechanic.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
peeing
oh,
mechanic.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
that's what I
mean,
would have done.
how would they have done that as
Paintbrush.
far as fighting
Paintbrush.
against you, kind of a thing,
Well,
if you're hunting
I'm
them?
saying like she. So as opposed to doing like a dragon breath, like
Hmm.
like a paintbrush comes out and starts painting like the actual like symbols, like you know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then that symbol does like an AoE effect. That's the way I would have done it. But again, they definitely went a little more wholesome, which I get.
yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely it would have been cool to see the celestial brush come out and like the symbols, like the kanji become the attacks, especially if you made each kanji different and each one, so if it was the kanji for ice, if it was the kanji for wind, each one that the celestial brush did, that would be the attack, so you'd actually have to like recognize, like, you know,
What
the
it's
Japanese.
doing, things like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that could be really really cool. But you know, hey man, cool, like sweet mount, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And Savage point out that Monster Hunter has done crossovers with Final Fantasy in the past,
Hmm.
and Witcher, which that I kind of doubt because that's a whole different development studio, or not studio, well, company.
CD Project Red.
Yeah. So for them to do a crossover of Monster Hunter and Witcher, that I mean, you would have to get Square and CD Projekt Red to be working together on that, and I that's a lot of
Dragon.
hoops.
Dragon. Sword. Give me the sauce. I want that sauce. Give me the sauce, baby.
Well, I mean, not to say it hasn't been done or anything like that. I just that's a lot of hoops that companies would have to like work together on and like that, and it's kind of like I
I
don't
mean,
I don't recall ever hearing of anything like that. I know the Final Fantasy Monster Hunter crossover because unfortunately I still run across that fight in Final Fantasy 14 all the damn time.
that's funny.
It's not a fun fight.
That's fair.
Considering in Final Fantasy 14, it's done in the Monster Hunter style, so
Oh, cool.
you and your party members, especially on the extreme difficulty, you and your three other party members that you're grouped up with, you
Are
have
cute like Monster Hunter.
you
There's
have
three.
three falls, and then
Oh, just like
and
Monster
that
Hunter. Ooh,
fails.
that's
So it's
awesome.
like, oh fuck.
That's top.
Yeah.
That is top.
So it's like,
Um,
okay. And it's very easy to get stunned and knocked down, and the whole second half the Rathlos fight, it's healing magic? No, no. You just have your mega potion from Monster Hunter, and that's it.
it's the player, not the game.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
You got another one?
uh I have one more. Technically I have two, but the other's kind of a poo-poo hating humanity. So we'll not do
Yeah,
that
let's
one
maybe
to
not do that one.
not
Yeah.
do that one.
Yeah.
um
Maybe this is an hour and 45 minute long
yeah,
podcast
yeah.
today.
We may shorten this one today. Um Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
There are supposedly impossible chests to open. Well, they've been dubbed impossible chests by the community because you have to go through so much crap to try to open it.
Okay.
Um because I guess the way they work is you start wandering around and eventually a little pinger starts going off in the UI to let you know you're within like 50 yards of a chest. And once you get within 30 yards or something, a lot of these chests begin to disappear in some form or another. This one was the last of the impossible chests to open. No one knew how to do it. The setup for this was effectively clipping out of bounds, drowning yourself, saving yourself at the last moment, walking in out of bounds areas, and literally at the very last moment before it like fell through the bottom of the out of bounds of the world, the guy put like a block under it to and then used the magnet power to then hoist the block up, and he was able to actually open this last of the impossible chests. So in theory now they're all obtainable.
Well,
And huh?
nothing. What was in it?
Um, crap, I forget what was in it. It was
Oh god damn it! This is the most fucking lackluster fucking story. What the fuck, man?
no. It
Jesus.
it was a crap. It was something not very like, oh my god, kind of. It was
Oh, I
like
know.
a,
It's kind of what I was
oh,
saying.
it's a like amber or amethyst or like something very lackluster as far as what it was in it. It's like I went through all that and got this piece of shit.
I mean, to be fair, this is the same game where you have to collect 999 Deku fucking seeds, and you literally get a golden piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, let us
Well,
not forget.
yeah.
Let us not
Um.
forget.
Yeah. It actually was a amber that was in the
Oh, it's
chest.
just an amber.
Yeah, an amber. Fossilized resin
Nice.
with caramel-esque sheen to it. It's been valued as a component in decorations and crafting since ancient times.
I mean,
That's
it's
it.
amber. Yep.
It's like, wow. Was
To
it
be
worth
fair,
it?
no, but it's about the journey, not the destination. You
True.
know, like that's what like if that's my mom's words coming out of my vocal cords. It's about the destination. It's not about the destination. It's about the
The
journey.
journey. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Um,
cute.
I put the link to the article in your chat. I'm going to
Oh, I
post it
saw
in
that.
mine as well.
Nice.
Um, but it's just really funny that it's just like not only is it clipping through mountains, drowning yourself,
Yeah.
and
Pulling
it's
yourself
like,
back from the abyss of death.
yeah, it's like, why, Nintendo, would you make getting something like this so insanely difficult,
Well,
considering
because good.
considering the amount of people that are actually going to realize, hey, I need to like drown myself, fall off the edge of the world, fall off the below the edge of the world, clip through this mountain over here in a specific way. It's like, what?
If I had to bet, I bet that was test chests that were not erased from the actual game that should have been. I bet they're leftover code, because if that's the only way you can access them, they should have been removed from the map and they were not meant to be there, is my assumption. But it's Nintendo and those dudes are fucking sticklers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
don't know. I mean, because you have to literally break the code if you're falling out of the world. Like,
Hmm.
clearly you're doing shit that like wasn't intended, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but Nintendo also has the most obsessive fucking fanboys, period, at this point, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely agree with
legit.
that. Yeah. I mean, hell,
Um,
they literally have a whole generation of gamers out there
right.
that are
Probably more at
guys
this point.
our age, that are people
Well,
our age, if not older, that have been playing their games since,
birth.
well, since they've been a company, period,
Right.
pretty much, or at least
Right.
since they've been a video game company. Let me put it that way, because they
That's
weren't
true.
always in video games.
That is true.
They were, I believe, in cigarettes first.
They were in cigarettes short, but then they were a company that made I'm sorry, gift baskets. Was actually their first thing.
Yeah.
Apparently in Japan, it is a very common practice to, when you go to somebody's house, you bring a gift basket, and it's like, whatever, chocolate and a little tiny toy thing and like that kind of thing. That was actually their first, like, when they started getting a foothold in like the business side of things, is they were really just making, here's a funny card and like a chocolate covered strawberry or whatever, and like whatever it might have been in the 80s. Super interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've only got one more thing.
Sounds good.
So, you know how Amazon has been trying to crack into the video game industry for like
Yep.
4 or 5 years now and failing just straight across the board? Like, everything that they've done, they either haven't even made a thing and they've canceled it, or they get one beta to the thing and then they cancel it because it does so fucking shittily.
Hmm.
Uh, they have a new MMO that is coming out
New
called
World.
New World. Yep.
Yep.
And they hit on their beta, they hit a concurrent player base of 200,000 players the other day. That's
Nice.
actually, yeah, that's a notable
That's
number.
actually impressive. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I went and I looked up some stuff. I mean, it looks fine. Doesn't look like anything that's gonna like blow my socks off. But I'm not a big, huge MMO guy. I know that like it is a fucking ridiculously huge community.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, I'm just now dipping my toes into MMOs. But it's cool because it is such a it's a fierce industry.
Oh yeah.
It just is.
Mhm.
Costs a lot of money to make, you know what I'm saying? Costs a ton more to maintain and make new
Mhm.
content. So, hey, good stuff finally.
Yep.
Fucking 7 years after you've been doing this. What?
Savage says he was one of those 200,000.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Savage, did you like it?
He
Let me
he's
know.
he's been loving it. A fellow couple of fellow stream team members that I'm on,
Mhm.
they've been playing it on their streams, so it looks really cool. Um, it would
Oh, yeah.
yes and no on the fact that it was breaking 3090s. Um,
Oh,
it's more of a issue with the EVGA 3090s than the game bricking the 3090s.
yeah, I was gonna say that'd be
So
very
it's
unlikely.
more of a manufacturer's fault than the game's fault. So be careful about that. There, change it up. Um, the big thing with New World though, as far as the MMO that they're putting out there, traditional MMOs, you have hot bars and you have all these different abilities. You can lock on to targets, things like that. Uh, New World is going more with the kind of Dark Soulsy version of combat, except you
Like
can't.
Guild Wars.
I guess. Except you can't lock on. There's no locking onto your target. It's just you're
Interesting.
swinging your weapon round and round, and like if they're within your arc of swinging, they're hit. Period.
So it's more real time combat then.
Yes. There's like dodge rolls,
Okay.
blocking, things like that as well. Uh,
Okay.
I I know of there being healing spells. I don't know if there are offensive spells. There's ranged weapons like bows, arrows, bow and arrow, muskets, things like that. There's obviously melee weapons, swords, axes, hatchets,
What have you?
staves. Again, I don't know if there is offensive like black mage kind of spells,
Okay.
but I do know that there is healing because there have been some people I've noticed when watching some other streams that have been doing it that were either they or someone in their party was a
Ready?
dedicated healer as far as like healing
Ah,
the rest of the
thank you,
party.
Savage.
So it definitely looks interesting. Is it
I
something
like. God, sorry.
I was gonna say, is it something I might get into? I don't know. It's going with the purchase to play model, whereas most MMOs go with
What do you
the
mean?
basically I do MMOs in three different categories: free to play, purchase to play, which is you buy the game, you can play. Period. No subscription, no nothing.
Yeah.
And then there's the subscription base, which is okay, you buy the game, you buy a monthly fee. There you
Yep.
go. Um. So it's kind of like hmm interesting that they're going with the purchase to play. They're either going to now
They're gonna have to monetize in some way, dude.
yeah, they're either going to have a an in-game uh purchase shop, or they're gonna like have to be pumping out the expansions or more content in very quick regular intervals, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how it does.
I think the idea of if you were going to start in a place like that where it's mostly melee and range is just like bows or whatever
Hmm.
combat. I think it's an interesting idea if you had the money and the backing that maybe the concept is that magic is slowly coming back to the world, so you do like one or two magic classes that get added in like an expansion later. Like basically like the way that mutants are introduced into the Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not everybody,
Hmm.
but there are mutants that have like that would be kind of a cool way to roll it out if you were too afraid that like it might be too much off the bat, you know?
Okay. I do know. from what I've heard of other people who've been playing it talk, um, your character kind of goes with the like Final Fantasy 14 model, where you can have one character and change kind of at whim what sort of class you're playing.
Oh, okay.
It's just a matter of, okay, where are you putting your ability points? Are you putting them more in strength? Are you putting them in dex, intel, things like that? Which then kind of dictates where you're going to be going. Are you going to be a strength based DPS or tank? Are you going to be going ranged? I mean, it's interesting. And yes, apparently, from what Savage says, there are offensive spells. You can shoot fireballs, things like that. So,
Cool. Okay.
so that's cool.
Can we take a quick little MMO sideboard?
Sure.
I don't love the way that Final Fantasy is. To be fair, I'm still super new. I'm level 6.
Okay.
I don't love how I don't have anything to do with, like, I gain a level and I don't have anything to do with, like, it's just like, here's your shit. Like, you get these stat points. Here's your new ability whenever you come into it. Like, I don't really love that. I feel like I don't have, like, and again, it may change later down the road, like where they give you so many abilities that you can kind of make a subclass within your class. But right now, this is not like the most, like, holy shit, wow, badass. Like, I have so many options kind of thing. Like, and I don't want it to be like Path Exile. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not in control, so it doesn't matter. Like, I just feel like I'm like auto doing stuff and things are just falling in my lap and I go, okay, I guess.
Okay.
Like,
With what you said there, it kind of sounded like there were two different issues you had. One, it sounded like you were just you level up, boom, new skill thrown in your face. The other is it kind of sounded like
stat points.
Well, stat points, those were a thing, and they got phased out in like the first or second expansion, because it was kind of a thing of, it's like, oh hey, I'm playing this character class at the moment, so all my stat points are going into that, obviously. And then you switch over and it's like, okay, now I have all the stat points back and I'm playing this other, and like the first time you're playing as a tank, so you're putting all your stat points into vitality.
I'm
Okay,
not putting
now
stat points into anything.
right. That's what I'm saying though, is they phased that out. They phased that out because there wasn't any need to put stat points other than where they obviously go. So instead of giving the player the option of, hey, here's a new stat point, you're a healer, you need to put this into your faith, and then you do the dumb thing and put it into your strength because you're gonna like run up and smack the boss with your staff for all of 2 hit points of damage. It's like, why give the player that dumb option when it really is kind of like, dude, do yourself the favor and everyone else you play with the favor and give you the best possible stat points there.
Is it based on what class I am when I level? And if I changed my if
Class?
I changed my class, okay, so if I change my class right now, am I still level 6?
No.
No, so I'd be level 1 as a mage.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so it's like D&D, but
and when you were to level up in that mage class,
it would push. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Hello, and thank you again for the Witcher crossover on my Discord. Appreciate you.
I mean, he posted that for me too.
I want to see it.
that flew under the radar for me, so it's like I want to see that too, which is kind of interesting.
I definitely want to see it. Like, it's just weird because I feel like I have no control. Like, it doesn't matter. And that, I understand that Final Fantasy XIV is a wildly different MMO than others, right? It's really more about story than anything else. Because I literally could just kind of just bumble my way through it, just playing by myself and get all the content, which is a really positive thing. Because you could just run into a room and there's just like a bunch of dudes, and then you just, hey, and then it just goes, you're all in a party. Okay, good, go for it. You're like, yay. I like that. But I think what I've decided is So I bought the game. It was $20. I get like whatever up to level like 60 levels or something, or like a month, whichever comes first,
Mhm.
for free. Um, I think that I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna just do a new like series where I just start going. I'm gonna play a bunch of MMOs and start day one completely fresh, and I have no idea what's going on. And the next one I was thinking about was Albion Online, because I love the idea of I had a concept these many years ago about an entire player driven economy. I am not going to play Eve Online for at least a little bit because that's a fucking spreadsheet simulator. Like, hey man, cool. Like if you're into it, like that's top. I have a friend, Paul Lucier, super into it, and he's already been like, dude, if you're gonna do this, like you gotta come play Eve. I'll give you everything. I'll get you in on a fucking good like mega corporation or whatever, which is guilds in that game. I'm
Mhm.
like, I mean, cool. And what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is like I'll do a month or two of each one to kind of like start, because it is lame of me to be such a connoisseur of video games and there is this huge fucking blank spot in my resume, right? Like I have no MMO experience. So that's lame. So my thought is never MMO'd is going to be my new thing where I just go, all right, I'm just going to play. If I want to play longer, I will continue to play longer. Like if I keep having fun playing Final Fantasy 14, I'll keep playing it. If I get bored, and Albion is probably the next one I'm going to do, because seriously, there's not a single thing made in that game that it isn't made by a human player. And that was my concept way back in the day, where if I want to be the best blacksmith, I still need iron, I need mushrooms, I need all this shit. You actually have to contract another human who's an adventurer class, and he goes out and gets the shit for you and then brings it back to continue the way that it actually worked. Like that to me is also a huge draw. Graphics look they look like but whatever, I don't care. It like I was just playing fucking old school RuneScape again, like literally like 3 months ago. So I am no one to judge on graphics, okay?
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's my new thought.
Okay.
So I think this is gonna be fun.
Speaking of MMO, like old school MMOs that have but for graphics, um, probably one of the first ones that I got into, Anarchy Online.
Oh yeah, I played Anarchy for a little bit.
That's free to play now,
Oh,
and
is it really?
uh, you get, I believe, the core version of the game.
Okay.
So you don't get like any expansions or anything like that. But I believe just the core version is free to play, and actually no, I take that back. The core version I know is free to play because that happened a long time ago, even when I was working at Funcom. Um, but then I think like 2 to 3 years ago, it's now available on Steam.
Oh no shit. So it's
So
not cool.
yeah. I will say this though, if you want to hit me, if you want to check it out,
I will
hit
probably.
hit me up
Okay.
because I will need to explain things to you as far as how stats go and things like that.
I think that's gonna be like the running theme of the show. It's gonna be like me going, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I'm literally trying to get used to keyboard and mouse. I know that like it completely kills my PC cred, but like, sorry, I am a fucking console kid who is newly adopted because of the streaming thing. Like, I gotta play everything on fucking. So when I loaded up 14. I was impressed that the first thing they asked was like, "Would you like to play this on controller?" That was
Mhm.
like one of the first things they asked. That's kind of a very unique feature. So that's cool. I like that.
Well, part of that is because
I'm still playing on keyboard and mouse, by the way.
okay, that's perfectly fine. Part of that though is because the simple fact that even though you're playing on PC, there are other players that you don't know who they are
Right.
that are on PS4 and I think now also PS5s.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah, that's
is
cool.
it is seamless cross-platform.
I will also say this. Good God Almighty, is the fucking Hubtown disgusting looking. everyone's name is this big, and it is just overlap as far. And I'm sure that you can fix it. But
Yes.
this was day one, and it was nauseating looking. It was just fucking humongous, stupid tags, symbols I didn't understand, just as far as the eye could see. And then I'd run forward, and it was further than the eye could not see. Like, it was so bad. I was just like, good God, man. Like, it's like there's like some Jim Jam down here in the corner. It's like a bunch of circles and then like other circle like segment thing. No explanation. I am literally to a point where they like let me out of the city and they're like, "Oh, punch some stuff," and no explanation on any of that. And I'm just like, I have no fucking clue what's going on here. But I think that's gonna be kind of part of the fun and like charm of it in a way is like seasoned people can like come and watch me and be like, "What a fucking idiot! He does not understand any of this shit." I'm more than open to like people like trying to help me out, but my god, dude, like, good god, it is like a visual fucking nightmare when you walk in that place. Good god, like,
Well, if considering that is the one that I am playing most frequently
currently.
now, if you
Yep.
want to, if you want pointers or notes or anything like
Yeah,
that,
no, like
again,
we'll
let me know,
like,
man.
yeah, no, I mean, like,
Especially
because I
seeing how
figured
we're
out
in the same data center too. I mean,
right.
we can join each other, which is
Right. And
nice.
I was thinking that like I'm probably gonna walk around like a complete and total knob for like 2 to 3 days, like play sessions. And I'm actually numbering them. This was FF14 day one. And so I'll walk around for a couple of days, just kind of like but yeah, then I figure, you and I will link up, I'll hang out with Joey sometimes. Like I'll get I don't want to go away from like a 30-day period and not learn anything about the game. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or the systems.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not like I want to like just make it all a joke. I would like to learn about all of them. And every single MMO, there's always overlap, right? Like there's certain things like hotkeys and shit like that always overlap, cooldown timers, etc.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just think this is gonna be fun because seriously, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. And I'm just like, yay! I was having a hard time. I was really stoked that they had an auto run button, and then I called one of my friends, and he goes, "Every MMO has an auto run button." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool technology." He was like, "Yeah, from 2002." Like I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
earlier than that.
Yeah, seriously. Well, dude, the last fucking like MMO that I played was basically RuneScape, and before that was a mud.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
legitimately, like, so this
Yep.
will be a fun little learning experience.
I'm wondering if it's actually in modern MMOs. There was a thing that I used to do a lot of the time when playing with some friends. Like, considering MMOs have the typical stereotype of, hey, we're running here. Okay, fine. You go there. I'll just literally slash follow and target
Oh
your
yeah,
friend. Your character automatically follows them wherever they go, what turns they make.
RuneScape had that
Yeah, and like while
pathfinding.
you're driving us there, I'm gonna go like bio or whatever.
Yep.
Um, I'm wondering if modern MMOs have that still or not,
I I
because I
I,
really
I
don't
wouldn't be
know.
the person to ask. I wouldn't be the person to ask. That's all I know.
I'm gonna have to try that out. I'm gonna
That's
just like find someone online in Final Fantasy 14 and be like, quick
crap.
target slash follow, do and start
Yep.
running around.
Yep.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
WoW does. I know WoW does because that was one of the games that I did it with. But
But WoW is also like a progenitor, right?
yeah, I mean
Like
that was
2002, 2001.
I want to say 2000,
I want okay. I want to say two,
2000,
but
2001, somewhere in there, I think.
no. All right.
So
So gotta stop.
yeah,
Um.
yeah.
Uh. Had a lovely time. Thank God we're back. This is excellent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is absolutely excellent.
I just realized
Um.
one thing that we didn't talk about today that was kind of on my like mental notes to talk about, and we didn't.
Well, put it down, and then we'll see it 6 weeks from now
Yeah.
because you're bad at taking notes.
Well, no, not. I won't bring it up 6 months from now, but I'll bring it up next week.
All right, good. Then do that.
Fine, I will.
Good. Frank about it. Go ahead. It will not bring you true happiness. So meet in Discord. We'll say goodbye to our individual audiences and meet in Discord.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Um, what do you want these things.
And there we go. Alrighty though, guys. That is going to be it for me tonight. And also, that is it for Alex tonight as well. Either way, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out, chatting with us, bringing up points during our conversations as well. Obviously today was a very up and down kind of, or more like down and up kind of discussion with Blizzard there in the middle, but oh well. Glad we were able to bring back some levity into it, which is always a good thing though. As always, we will be back again with the talk show again next week, same time, same day, all that fun jazz. I personally will be back tomorrow. I'll be playing some Destiny 2 and raiding with the rest of the crew. And with that though, I will catch you guys later. Have a good evening. Can do voiceovers close mouth? Yeah. But I will catch you guys later, and I hope you all have a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye!